This is my high mileage BMW E46 330Ci. And in this video I'll be installing a Pandem style wide body kit to this car. For years I've had these pictures of an E46 wide body on my phone. So now I think it's time I built my own. In order to create my dream E46, this is what we have done so far. Retrofitted colour changing angel eyes, replaced our M3 interior with Recaro bucket seats from a Corsa VXR, removed the stock exhaust for D-Cat headers with a full M3 exhaust setup including sports cats. In the last video I installed E46 style M3 wing mirrors along with an M3 GTR bonnet. So now you're all caught up, let's get on with the wide body. I start by taping up the car with masking tape. This prevents me from scratching the car when attempting to install the kit. It also happens to bite us in the arse later, but we'll get to that.
I'm not emotional, I haven't cried for days. I run in pains, I'm so fine.
We've now got all this side taped up, it's time for a test fit. When lining up the kit for the first time, I quickly realised it's not quite right. Now, it's safe to say this is obviously a cheap kit from eBay and it's fiberglass, so it's never going to match up perfectly. And looking at this, we are going to have to make some modifications. This line doesn't match up with here without it touching down here, so we have to cut something down there. That line doesn't make up, so probably time to get the Dremel out. Well, that wasn't ideal. The Dremel blade snapped, so I think we'll go angle grinder. So out comes the angle grinder to make some relief cuts so I can try to make this kit fit a little better.
Call for emergency, who can waste my time? I get I can't stop smiling. It's in your head, so fine, but you're fine. You're so fine. Tell me how to live and let it go.
So I've cut a relief here. See if that gives us any more clearance. I might have to go a bit further up here. We'll test it and see. Still no good, so I'm going to keep cutting and testing. I'll get back to you when we have a bit of a better fit. Like I said, it's a cheap kit from eBay, so there was no expectation for it to fit perfectly on the first try. And as you can see, it did take a fair bit of trial and error just to make it sort of work. After getting it somewhere close to where it needs to be, I tape the kit on to help me line it all up. So there it is. Anxiously, I put the first of many holes into my car.
You got me so bad, you make it all slow down, not getting closer, you're killing me.
I used self-tappers to hold the kit in position as a temporary measure. This also gave me a pilot hole for later on when I mount the kit properly.
From you losing me, but I just couldn't give it up. And all the times you said you wanted me, when you know we don't get along.
Right, just finished screwing it all in with self-tappers, so I've not actually looked at this yet. I know it's going to be wide, but oh, right, comparing, look at that, look at those wheels, they are lost, and this is well close to my wall, but there compared that is just absolutely nuts. We need to, well, do a couple of things. We need to spin the car around, do the other side, which is going to be more of a pain because we've got the fuel cap to contend with. Need to put a ducktail spoiler on. This kit comes with a ducktail spoiler, which I haven't shown you yet. And I do need to cut the arch out. I need to line the inside of the arch. I'm going to use Sharpie to draw the inside of the arch, and I need to cut the arch liner or the arch, actual stock arch out, and then get that welded up later. So I think I'm going to get the full kit mounted before I cut the arches out. I may cut the arches out another day, but at least I'll have the kit mounted. So I'm going to crack on with the other side, and then we'll leave the spoiler till last.
I'm so done looking for love so blindly. You got me so.
So that is both sides on, and I've not had a look yet. I'm gonna let you guys have a sneak peek first. I'm gonna put the camera up and turn the car around, and do we come front with the bonnet? I think we come down the driveway with the bonnet forwards so you can see the bonnet and the wide body. That's what we're gonna do. So you guys are gonna see this before I do. No, I've still not looked. I've still not looked. Oh, I don't know if that was the best move, because you can't tell that much from here until you start moving around. Now, I don't know what you guys saw. I'm gonna show you. So, you guys saw this view. You didn't see wide body. Ooh. Those wheels are gone. And the full effect. It's so stupid. I'm going to turn around in the drive so it doesn't look like it's a monster truck, because from here it looks horrendous. So let me turn it around. Time to start removing the stock lip spoiler to make room for the ducktail. So I've got the majority of the sticky stuff off. There's still a bit, but it's going to be covered up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now I need to pull the badge off, as simple as that, and get this spoiler on. Gonna need help. So I've asked my girlfriend to come out because I need to glue that on and tape it, because it needs to be pressed into place. So I'm hoping I can tape it around the boot after I've glued it. So I'm going to put the glue on now, wait for her to come out so we can tape it, and hopefully it holds.
End of the day, you like me, not too far from the tree. And if you had a son and you were sick, you pushed for his dream.
A big thanks to Jay, as without her this would have been a lot harder. I'm sure you'll see more of her in the future.
Thing that you love and the ones that love you, just live your truth. Cause to me you're living.
So we've got a couple of bits that aren't perfect, i.e. down the side here. Don't know if you guys can see that. And this corner, probably the same the other side. So we can always use some fiberglass filler. And I think the plan is, I was speaking to Dean before, Dean works with fiberglass. So I think what we're gonna do is fiberglass filler this entire bottom edge, because again, that's sticking up. Filler that, sand it flush so it's almost molded in. So it's kind of my own version of a CSL bonnet, bumper, boot, CSL boot lid. Likewise with the body kit, it's definitely not perfect, it's far from perfect. So we've got areas like down here where there is a huge gap, a couple of areas where there's small gaps, but we can get these filled in anyway, that's not an issue. And then around the fuel filler cap, I mean, it does open but not fully. It does open enough to get fuel in, so that's not an issue, but it's not fully open. It hits a bit up here, and also we've got gaps down there. So it's far from perfect, but like I said earlier, it is a cheap kit. I now need to mark out and cut the actual stock arches, so I basically don't have all that arch underneath there, so you can't see anything. It'll allow me to lower the car as well, because obviously these are a bit higher. You see this arch is much higher than that arch. So I need to cut out the stock arch so I can lower the car and then get wider wheels. So it'll be a few days for me before I do that, but I'm going to skip to that now and show you guys that process. It's been about 2 weeks since I filmed that last clip and I've made a little mistake. The plan is today I'm going to cut these arches out. The wide body arches are obviously on, which you saw just a minute ago, but the stock arches are still in place, and I left the masking tape there so I could draw, make a line and make it easier to cut out. Annoyingly, over the last 2 weeks it's got hot, it's got cold, we've had rain, and that has made the residue from this tape stick to the car. But the show must go on, and if I'm honest, this is the most daunting thing I have done to this car. Pretty much everything I've done so far is reversible. Yes, I've drilled holes in the car by putting this body kit on, but with a little bit of body filler nobody would know. However, cutting out these arches is going to be the point of no return, and that is scary. I've done plenty of modifications to cars throughout the years and nothing to this extent. I've never taken an angle grinder to my car to cut out a body panel. But I've got a vision for my dream E46 build, and to reach that we need to cut these out. So I'm going to cut open the arches now, show you guys the process, and hopefully it all goes all right. So this is it, the start of the point of no return. I've prepped the panel by removing the wheel arch liner. This will save me destroying it, although I'll still have to modify it later.
Going round and round, it's a trampoline stay. Oh, it's like I never run out of breath, and I don't
I then use a Sharpie to mark out my cut line before removing the kit, ready to make my first cut.
be bonafide. Girl, you got me waking.
Now it's time for the point of no return. Wish me luck.
Tastes like someone never get enough.
And just like that, there's no going back. It's full send time for the biggest build I have undertaken.
Just wanna be your.
So that's the first bit done. We need to obviously go deeper and get this done and then get the arch out. So go deeper because it's not quite penetrated all the way. Oh, there it has. This is scary, but it's going to be worth it.
Why are you so goddamn cold? Tell me why, 'cause you know this ain't no love. So can we just be bonafide? Girl, you got me waking up confused, lost in time. Every moment tastes like someone never get enough. Summer sugar kisses left behind, and I don't wanna.
And there's the mistake that I told you about earlier with the residue. That's going to be fun.
Wanna be your love.
Painstakingly, I removed as much of the tape as I could, but that residue is definitely stuck on good. Note to future self, don't leave masking tape on a car left outside.
'Cause you know this ain't no love. I want you to be.
I then finished cutting the top skin of metal.
Girl, you got me waking up confused.
So there's our second skin. Ordinarily, what people do is fan these sections out, bend them up and weld them to this, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do, advised by Steve, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, Steve is basically my exhaust fabricator and he's a great fabricator. What we're going to do is get a new piece to weld from here to here. So he's going to fabricate a new piece of metal, so we don't have to fan it up. There's less cuts, less likely for cuts to fail or our welds to fail, and hopefully should be stronger. In his experience, it's better and stronger and a bit easier. So we're going to cut that out, mount the kit again, but we are going to mount the kit properly this time, which means drilling these holes out, putting in some riv nuts and mounting the kit properly. Then do the other side, take it to Steve, weld that up, rear section done. Just need to get the wheel arch liner back on. So let's do that. So on we get with more cutting to fully open this wheel arch.
I've been alone too long. Gotta learn how to walk with my shadow. I've been so low in my lane till you showed up out of nowhere. Damn, now I got a halo. So keep up, I'm saying, but they praying I keep up. Don't let up on me. I know you're waiting so patiently.
Now I know there's probably going to be some of you in the comments saying, oh, that's a rubbish cut, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, get off an angle grinder, but I don't care. My project and it can be sorted out, plus it's all going to be hidden. So I know Steve's going to clean that up. He'll use a sanding pad, which I don't have, otherwise obviously I would do. but he'll use a sanding pad and he's going to weld it up anyway. So for now, I'm going to spray a little bit of primer on it just so it gets protected, because it's the UK, it's probably going to rain between now and next week when I go to see Steve. Wang some primer on it, put the arch back on, but before we do that, we're going to have to drill out the holes to put the riv nuts in, and yeah, we should be good. I'm probably going to drop the suspension down a little bit as well, because this has raised the arch, so I want the wheels sitting a bit better, although it's 50 foot inside.
Only thing I'm missing is see you face to face. But I tell you what you need to know.
Here you see me using my brand new Christmas tree drill bit to open up the holes to 10mm to accept the riv nuts. I then had to rinse and repeat this for every hole.
Cause the time is running out, and the lives are running out. Don't leave.
I then apply a coat of primer to the exposed metal. Steve's going to have to grind this off anyway, but at least it's protected until then.
Rushing over to you. Keep your head up,
Now on with squeezing these riv nuts to tighten them to the car.
I'm rushing over to you. Keep your head up,
And finally, the holes on the kit were extended to 6mm. They had to be smaller than the ones on the car, otherwise the bolts would have just gone through the kit and it wouldn't be held on.
it takes. I know I made it hard to say, but please don't throw it all away. I can see you standing there, I'm so close, baby, please don't.
So the arch is cut out, the riv nuts are in, and we've made the holes bigger in the wide arch to accommodate the new hardware. Yes, it is annoying, as you can see. I've tried to get rid of some of the residue. I've ordered a toffee wheel, that should be here tomorrow. I'm going to use that. If you don't know what a toffee wheel is, it's basically a rubber wheel you can put in your drill and it takes away all adhesive and doesn't damage your paint. So I've ordered a toffee wheel, will be here tomorrow, that'll be sorted. But time to hard mount this body kit.
Why'd you even call me up?
So it's time to start the final assembly on the driver's side using the proper mounting hardware. This will give us an idea of how the kit looks without the stock arches protruding through the wide arch kit.
Bro, I could use a bam, 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 but it's not from you, cause I'm not that hollow. Baby, let it be. You could try to sweet talk,
Back on with the modified wheel arch liner,
don't leave.
then the wheel, before lowering it to get a final look. The driver's side is fully done and I think it looks so much better. I think you'll agree, it is a lot more aggressive, and obviously with the masking tape gone, there's a little bit of residue left, as I mentioned earlier. But I've ordered a toffee wheel, that'll come tomorrow, that should get it all off, no issue. The other issue is that we have a monster truck fitment right now. We need to drop the rear down massively. We are going to get new wheels, but either way, it needs to have new fitment. So I'm going to crack on with the passenger side, and when I get the toffee wheel, get rid of that residue. It's now a matter of rinse and repeat. Draw the cut line, unmount the kit, cut the arch,
Taking every bar in town, all the sleepless nights until things got worse.
and remove the tape.
Trying to convince me of the shit, but it didn't work on me.
So this side, fortunately, is not that bad for the adhesive left from the masking tape, but this was not sat on the sun and rain side. That side got a lot more sun while it was sat there. However, what we've got is a toffee wheel, and a toffee wheel is basically a rubber wheel that gets adhesive off paint and glass and should leave no marks and get rid of all the residue. So, first time ever using it, let's see how it goes.
And everything you asked, but I wasted time.
So I learned as I used the toffee wheel. It basically gets hot and thins the adhesive. This then allows you to wipe off the excess, but just be careful not to leave the hot wheel in one place for too long.
Catch you on the flip side. So goodbye.
So verdict, does the toffee wheel work? Yes, however, a bit of persistence is needed, and also I wiped it down with some spray. I just used some rapid dirt shifter from Demon Machine, whatever, and a cloth, and I managed to get most of it off, or all of it off. However, don't use it on plastics, as on my bumper I've managed to take a score out because the toffee wheel does get quite hot. So if you use it on plastics and leave it there a little bit too long, it's just going to burn it away and make a gouge like it has, well, here. So yes, the toffee wheel is good. It's a little bit quicker and a little bit less elbow grease than the old school way, but also other things like sticky stuff remover, still quite good.
Your shoes I've done everything you've asked.
Just like I did on the other side, I drilled the holes out on the car to 10mm for the riv nuts.
Your shoes. I've done everything you asked, but I wasted time.
And then the holes in the kit I drilled out to 6mm.
You're just cool. I swear anything's.
There she is. We have successfully installed the rear Pandem arch kit and the ducktail spoiler. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this kit so far and how it looks on this car. Next, we need to go see Steve so we can get these rear arches welded so we don't rust from the inside out and keep everything watertight. We also need to play with the suspension because currently we're riding like a monster truck. So unfortunately, that's where we leave part 1, but be sure to like and subscribe and come back for part 2 where we've got plenty of work to finish my dream E46 wide body. So that's all for me. I'll catch you guys in the next one.